this information down. Part of the work that I do is with our counter misinformation team at the DNC, and we have a great counter misinformation training tomorrow, and I hope to see some of you there. But really what we see on TikTok is a lot of right-wing actors who are purposely spreading disinformation about Kamala Harris, about Tim Walz now, about Democrats generally. And then, really our other challenge is that Donald Trump has a very large following on this platform. He has 10 million followers. Does that mean that he is running his TikTok well? No. But he does have a very large reach on the platform. But thankfully, we also have some tremendous opportunities.
This is how they propagandize, guys.
Set narratives.
This is how they do it.
The vice president mentioned in her first TikTok that she noticed that she's been on the For You page, which is true. There was some really amazing organic content.
I'm in the training room right now. I'm in the training room for the Dems and how they get people to listen and push the Democrat plantation stuff.
From last week about the amazing rallies that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz held. We saw the crowds. We saw the amazing.
This is crazy.
Information that was being.
I'm in their Zoom meeting right now.
Crowds and how really tremendous enthusiasm that existed.
I'm in their Zoom meeting right now.
We also want to amplify negative content, right?
You hear?
Donald Trump has
amplify negative content
for the last 3 months, and that's why he's trying to distance himself as much as possible. But the reality is that it is Donald Trump's Project 2025. And so we need to talk about that.
You hear?
And I think you have credibility as a voter, as a person, as a citizen.
This is crazy.
To say, hey, listen, this is how Trump's Project 2025 would impact me as a student, as a teacher, as a mother or a father or a brother. So whatever it is, it's how it impacts me. We want to talk about the draconian abortion bans that Donald Trump allowed through the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
This is what they're telling their people to push on TikTok. They gather them in to push this propaganda out. This would be illegal.
We want to relate to voters. We want to relate to them as
they're handing TikTokers talking points.
People who just want to see this country.
This is crazy.
A better place and not let Donald Trump back into office. We also want to react. We want to react to how extreme and weird and bizarre Donald Trump and JD Vance are, and MAGA in general. When we relate and when we react, we're able to win online, and especially on TikTok. So also in this presentation, I wanted to give you kind of a nuts and bolts how to use TikTok. Maybe some of you are more familiar with this, maybe some of you are not, but I wanted to kind of give you a basic understanding of how TikTok works and how to use the platform so that you're able to maybe yourself use it, or maybe even a friend or someone you know. You can pass this information along to them. So first of all, definitely feel free to explore the app. That's probably my number one tip. Play around with it, play around with the effects, see what's up. That's probably the number one way to learn. TikTok also has a beginner user guide, which I think is actually very helpful. And even if you leave this training and you do nothing else, the one thing that I'd really love for you to do, if possible, is to follow and interact with our incredible accounts, Kamala HQ, at Kamala Harris, and at the Democrats. We've had a lot of wonderful comments and likes and shares and followers on those platforms, but we're looking to continue to grow. So really, it's helpful every time we post a new video on one of those platforms to give it a share, to give it a like, to give it a comment. Those things really do matter in the aggregate.
This is silly.
And you might think that maybe your like or comment doesn't really matter, but it does matter.
They can't even get this stuff out organically. They have to recruit. This is crazy.
Content, or you're thinking about it, watching examples from people, I think, is super helpful. So you can for sure go to those accounts, Kamala HQ and the Democrats, but also check out some of your favorite creators. Certainly you can go to my page and see what I've been posting, but everyone is different. Everyone posts differently. Everyone has something different to say. So try different tactics and really just dive into it. And if you're comfortable, post videos. That's really the best way to learn and the best way to contribute. Some of the best practices that I've learned over my 4 years on TikTok. And again, this is a non-exhaustive list. There's a lot of things that go into what makes the best video, but just some things to get you started. Always use a header at the beginning of your videos, maybe for the first 5 seconds. Here you can see in this video of me where I have the line, Arizona Republican blames Biden for his counting fail. This is a video I did about an Arizona Republican representative who blamed Biden for inflation for his grocery bill, but on the receipt and on the bill, it didn't include actual grocery items. So you can see there from the tag and from the header, it's a succinct way to draw people into the video. Be sure to use captions. Accessibility certainly helps keep attention. You also want to be consistent, but also engaging. I think this is the hardest.
This is how they propagandize. This is crazy.
You want to be consistent. You certainly don't want to talk too fast or too slow, but you also want to engage people. People on TikTok are looking, and this is true of social media generally. People on TikTok are looking at the first 2 seconds of your video. So if you start your video and you're just like, well, and today Kamala Harris did this rally.
This is why Harry does so well.
No one's gonna care.
They taught Harry well.
Be a little snappy, and
Donald Trump.
You don't want it to be distracting, but you got to be, you got to hook people in some way, right? Also important to interact with the community, other creators, and also keep in mind suppress words. If you use words like kill or murder, or think about words that curse words. These are words that TikTok picks up on, and it doesn't want getting on its algorithm. It doesn't want getting on its FYP. So definitely be sure to keep those suppressed words in mind. If you Google, TikTok suppressed words, you'll find some lists, but generally just think about words that the algorithm could catch as potentially being censored. So now we're gonna watch this video from our dear friends over at the Make America Great Again PAC. And I want you to watch it and consider, and you can type in the chat too while you're watching this, what they did right and also what they did wrong. I think they do more wrong than right here, but let's play this clip for a little bit and see what happens.
Serious question for you guys. Is nothing sacred in our society anymore? Hear me out on this one. New reports came out this last weekend that Hunter Biden actually used a Sandy Hook shooting memorial to coordinate a meeting between his dad and Chinese business partners. This new report further contradicts Joe Biden's claims that his family hasn't earned any money from China with this one text alone.
Okay, that's enough of that. So I'm gonna open the chat up here. Thank you for all the.
Doesn't even realize that a MAGA is in here with him.
What do you think they did right? What do you think they did wrong?
This is crazy.
Maybe another 15 seconds to think about it. I know that was just. I can maybe play it one more time here.
Is nothing sacred in our society anymore? Hear me out on this one. New reports came out this last weekend that Hunter Biden actually used a Sandy Hook shooting memorial to coordinate a meeting.
This is what they do.
His dad.
Now, remember, people, I got here by signing up on Kamala's website. Okay.
So this is great because, we're getting some great footage or great comments here. Here's where I think she went wrong. Number one, she used the censored word, right? Shooting. Anytime you use shooting or gun, often TikTok will pick that up and censor it. Some of you suggested that she had a good hook, and potentially, but let's watch this again and see how good this hook really is.
I have a serious question for you guys. Is nothing sacred in our society anymore?
So within 4 seconds, I have a serious question. Nothing is sacred.
Yes, Terry.
About the video, right?
This is their training video for people on TikTok.
Way too long to get into it. If you're gonna say something, say it right away. So I don't think that super worked for her. But certainly lessons to be learned. Okay, now look for
what is this streaming on?
Zoom. I'm streaming their Zoom meeting. This is I signed up for this on the website, and I joined the Zoom. That's the Zoom.
No, what is this on Straight Talk?
I'm streaming on Savage Pages on YouTube.
Oh shoot.
And recording both.
Oh, I didn't even, I was knocked out, man. Hold on.
He has no problem with that lie, but he has a problem with us talking about Hunter Biden meeting with his father at a gravesite. This is what, look, they're doing a better job at recruiting. We're not supposed to, but that's what they do.
So what I like about this video, and we'll talk about
Tell me what you like, please do.
Specifically, but it's called our intro outro video, in where you introduce the clip. And I like how May says,
that's how Harry does it too. This is exactly what Harry does. He's been trained.
Whoa, he just like, what did President Biden just say?
Harry's been trained.
Sending a clip up like that, and again, you can do the same thing. You can follow the same format. But thank you all. Yes, go straight to the point. Exactly. The captions are there. Great. You know, there's a clip.
And Marlon, we've always said that because he knows, you know, when he's live and he does his videos, he just, they're all the same, you know, and the way they go about putting out their content. And this is showing it right here.
Crucial to the TikTok experience. TikTok commissioned a study, and they found that 90% of TikTok users said that sound is key to the experience. It doubles the fun. They found in their survey survey study. It doubles the fun on TikTok than any other platform, right? It's double the fun. Now, I want to caution this by saying you have to use the right sound for your what you're saying, right? So if you're saying, you do not, you know, if you're speaking, you have a video, you don't want to put in a song that has very loud lyrics, because then they're just going to clash. So finding sounds or finding audios that maybe are background or that fit in with that. You can go to my page, again, this is at Matthew.Rain, REIN, on TikTok to maybe see some examples of some of the background audios I use. But again, the much more important part of this is the fit, not necessarily that you use one. So now I wanted to touch on some video.
Let's see if Harry fits in these video styles.
These are what we consider our evergreen or kind of bread and butter content. And again, I want to reiterate, this is not
propaganda.
You have to do
propaganda.
100%. You can do your own thing. You can chart your own course. But just to give you an idea of some of the video styles that you might want to consider incorporating into your own content potentially. So some of the
Harry does this all the time too. This green screen thing.
I do.
Oh yeah, take notes.
Is the green screen video. It allows for a screenshot of an article or a tweet or whatever you want from your camera roll, or a video to be shown behind you. And here is Lauren, who is amazing and runs our Kamala HQ and Kamala Harris TikToks, to give an example of what the green screen video looks like.
Donald Trump was just found guilty in his criminal trial.
Exactly how he does it.
Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee.
They all talk the same because it's been trained. Ain't that crazy?
It is. You notice how she said Donald Trump and
the
then
same, just
said,
like Harry.
Again.
Works.
Bruh.
If it's just you, people are just focused and they're looking at you, which is fine. But people also need a frame of reference for what you're talking about. So, for example, this particular video, Lauren is talking about Trump being found guilty, and there's the headline. It's a nice affirmation of, oh, what she's saying is true. It's a valid.
Wow.
For you to potentially include in your own videos.
This is crazy.
Absolutely.
Donald Trump was.
We also use direct-to-camera videos. You can do this as well. Again, you don't need to set it up exactly like the vice president does here, but just to give you an example of some of the content that we use and will continue to use.
I have got to see what Donald Trump's friends in the United States Senate just did.
On this vote, the yeas are 51, the nays are 56.
And just recently, Donald Trump said he was, quote, looking at policies to block access to contraception.
So you can
Notice how she repeats the name.
Yes.
You've got to see what Donald Trump's friends just did. They just blocked access to contraception. You can see the header there. Republicans blocked contraception protection bill. There are captions as well. And you can do the same thing, right? There's nothing to say that you can't. I think it's a great idea. And it follows what we saw in May's video about dark brain.
So lie. Just make sure you repeat it often.
An example
Yes.
of something that I've come up with, or that actually happened, of course, unfortunately, where Trump said, or let me backtrack and say, the clip where Trump says, there should be some form of punishment for women who get an abortion, you can say, wow, look at what Donald Trump just said about punishing women. You transition then to show of that. And then you talk about why that's bad, why Donald Trump has Roe v. Wade to be overturned through his 3 Supreme Court nominees. You can talk about why Democrats and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are fighting for reproductive rights, IVF, contraception, etc.
I've got to see.
There's also a stitch. You can stitch another creator's video, and I'll just let this video play. You can see what that is all about.
You add me into an Instagram group DM, I will add Kamala Harris every single time.
Hey, the second gentleman, Kamala's husband, can I get on this group chat too?
So super simple. Again, that was a great one because
It was a great
the
one.
second gentleman was kind enough to do that. He's done some great TikToks since then. He just did one where people have been asking on our Kamala HQ account, who's running the account, and the second gentleman got on there and did a stitch, or he did a reply to a comment where he said, yes, I'm running the account. So again, it's not gonna be exactly like that, but the stitch feature is available for you to use if you'd like. There's also the walk and talk, where you can just talk about whatever you're thinking, right? I think this works better if you are highly engaging when you're doing this, but just watch kind of what I'm doing.
Earlier on, he said to make sure every time you put something, mention Project 2025. There it is again.
What's interesting about Project 2025 is that Trump.
They're all the same.
This man is always talking about something. He's always talking about whatever political topic is on his mind, but it's the one thing that he's ever mentioned. But it's one of the big. So this is prior to Trump denying his involvement with Project 2025. I think with these videos, the walk and talks, the better you can set up the curiosity from the beginning to say, well, why hasn't Trump talked about Project 2025? And to build that kind of suspense, but also get people thinking about the issues. And I go on in this video to talk
So again, Marlon, this is happening right now. This Zoom meeting.
Right. I'm live with them right now in their room, but they don't know I'm streaming it.
And did you have to request access?
No, they sent me the link to join because I signed up.
Oh,
I signed up live on the show, right?
Yeah.
They sent me the link.
That's
one is today, one is tomorrow too.
Oh, and they don't even know. This is awesome. Take notes, people.
I'm recording the whole thing too, by the way. So
yeah, good.
Next steps for you to follow. Number one, if you have not joined the Discord, make sure you join the Discord. If Kate is still in the chat, she can drop the link to the Discord. But if not, it is just txt.democrats.org/join-demcord. Would really love to see you there. You enter your display name, you enter your email address, etc., and you're in. But when you do this, you're going to be able to join our hashtag.
There you go.
Community.
Get all your talking points from them. That's what they want.
I'll be able to answer questions.
Get your talking points.
Share your content.
Wow.
We'd love to see that posted in the
I'm
Discord.
glad you did that yesterday. Because now we can learn all their dirty little tricks.
And you can also get notified when Kamala HQ and Kamala Harris post, so that you're always up to date with
share
the content
this.
that's out there.
I posted it, but
I really highly
for
recommend
TikTokers.
you tell your friends if you're on the Discord already, to join this community. Even if you don't want to post on the platform, it's always great to hear from other people or get their perspectives of what's being posted. So highly encourage you to join Discord and join our TikTok community.
what is their Discord?
So now we're going to go and answer some questions. Again, you can always ask questions in Discord, but I'll be around for a little bit to answer some questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oops. I stop sharing. There you go. All right, here we are. We're back. All right, I'm going to go through the chat, answer some questions. Certainly if you do not have questions, no worries.
Should I ask the most obvious questions? Why are you guys propagandizing people?
No, because you want to gain access again.
Okay, let me
That's
grab the
true.
Discord link.
Yeah, you don't want to lose it. You want to get as much as you can, man.
I want to upset them too. That's when
And then the very last Zoom meeting you do, then you ask them.
I'll tell them too. I was streaming it the whole time to my
This
platform.
is the link to join.
Oh, they're going to try to get you. Oh, there's the link to join their Discord. Make sure you take note.
There we go.
I don't want to join the Discord. I want to stay away from Discord.
No, not you. Just
Yeah.
there are people out there that do Discord though. Send Koi in there as a
where
that's a secret agent, man.
Going, what communities you want to join, and one of them is the online engagement community. Where you say you want to uplift content online. That is what you'll want to press. Let me just double check here and make sure.
Let me screenshot it so I have it.
That is right. I don't want to lead you to the wrong place. Let's see. Okay, so it's under Amplify Messaging. You can also just there's a search feature or a channel role search feature. You can just
let's check the questions.
And this is when you join through Kamala's site, right?
Yes.
So they think you're Kamala supporter.
It should be under amplifying content.
And I'm getting real names too. That's the crazy part.
Yep. So we know everybody.
Did folks who were trying to stop for Discord, did y'all get in that? So I think
this is crazy.
We'll send out, thank you, Robin, for letting me know.
It's all propaganda, man. They get trained to do it.
But in Discord, there is the ability. Now, actually, let me see if I can just send you the chat or send you the link to the channel where we are here.
So for everybody that's in here, I'm just joining, but this is something Marlon did yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, on yesterday's episode of the Savage Patriots.
But
he went to Kamala's headquarters site.
Okay.
Asked for information or wanted to join, and they sent him a link to this Zoom for TikTok or for creators and how they train.
There's another one starting at 4:00 too.
Yeah.
Izzy says,
train creators to push propaganda and how to do it properly.
You shared. There's not really a technical training that I know of. There are great resources online in terms of how to create a TikTok or how to get on the platform and create content. But in terms of how best to do a DTC, or rather what are the steps on TikTok that you can take, I think your best bet is to look at the TikTok kind of beginner guide, and that'll give you kind of a rundown of how to create content, how to post, how to share, how to edit videos. And there's a lot of great YouTube videos about that as well. Shirley says, is there another way I can help out with Kamala Harris's campaign other than this TikTok activity? Absolutely, Shirley. There are a million different ways to help out on this campaign.
I'm going to ask a question.
I'm going to find you the DNC.
Be careful with it, though.
Yeah, watch.
And there's really fantastic events on there as well. So let me go to there, and I can link that. Yeah, definitely. I can find this.
You see the question?
I can't. Yeah, it's too far for me to see.
It says, will the Discord have talking points for us to put in our TikToks?
It looks like if it doesn't, then I will talk to Kate.
Come on, answer my question. Someone asked if any paid jobs.
Okay, great. It works. Amazing. Yes, you can download Discord. Discord is an app.
Oh, I have Discord on my phone.
We moved our online engagement and digital organizing to Discord to make it a bit easier. There is a training event tomorrow. If you go on that Mobilize link I sent, there should be, let's see. There should be on here. It's a misinformation training. I can try to get the link.
There it is. Misinformation training.
Zoom, or excuse me, yeah, as Chris says, all ages are welcome. Absolutely. And Soul says, yeah, look, anyone, any age, any person can post on TikTok. It is not just a young person's app. I think that is a common misconception. Truly, it is open for everyone, and I think that just tells you that people are seeking that authenticity and it really does work. Yes. Okay. Great. There is a Discord training at the top of the hour. Thank you, Carolyn, for putting that in. I believe Kate will be there as well and leading that. But at 7, there will be a Discord training. Again, so as you know about the TikTok community in Discord, I will send a follow-up with instructions of how to access that, and hopefully the link. It sounds like the link worked for some people, but not for others. So I'm curious about that. But I'll stick around for maybe another 5 minutes if folks have questions. I'm sorry if you asked questions in the beginning and I missed them.
Said authenticity.
I can do that. Let's see. Okay, seeing some people saying, "Oh, thank you, Mike, for posting that misinformation training. I really appreciate it." Yes, we'll be there. Okay, we'll answer some more questions here. Are there other trainings for TikTok? Yes, Jacqueline, there are. We're going to be doing these trainings probably once a week now. I'm hoping that folks will we'll be able to do more advanced trainings or other ways you can get involved and make content, maybe some of those more technical trainings. But definitely stay tuned for that. Embarrassing your kid is a bonus. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for joining, Rhiannon. I really appreciate it, and thank you all for joining. And I know a lot of folks have not used TikTok, and it is an intimidating platform, but you're all awesome.
No, it's not.
Thanks so much. Great. Let's see. So there's a question: are sessions recorded? I don't believe sessions are recorded. We can try to get you the presentation.
Yes, they are.
I'll follow. You can always email me. I'll send my my TikTok app, and then also I will send my email again. And you can also message me in the Discord as well. So Marlon says, can I get talking points from Discord? I don't know if there are talking points necessarily. There are folks who have conversations on there. There's great content that we post on Reach, which is our app. Yes, and if you're going to be in the misinformation Zoom, I'll see you there, and see me again. Yes, there are some talking points on Reach that you can use.
I want to hear their misinformation.
I will post the I'll post the channel one more time to the Zoom in case you missed it. And hopefully you all can join. But yes, Reach is a great place for content. Okay. I think we will pause here and break. But if you're going to join the misinformation training tomorrow, I'll see you there. There will be more TikTok trainings. I'm going to send out a follow-up email with both the Discord and some more information. But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your time and hope you all have a wonderful night. Thanks again. Bye.
Wow. Just wow. Just wow. That is crazy to me. So they are, now mind you people, I signed up for this on the live on Monday. At the end of the show, you saw me, well, near the end, you saw me go into their page and sign up. This was one of them. They sent me a megaton of text messages to join. Okay. So now
Wow.
I have the disinformation one. That was the last one they sent, and it was all workshops. One of them starts at 4. You want to know why every lefty TikTok looks the same? Because it's propaganda, and they're training them to push the information they want. The mere fact that you have to have a misinformation campaign to teach people how to speak tells me you're concerned about the truth.
Yep.
Wow. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to join it again at 4. I don't know if I want to stay live and do it, or
how long does it last? Like 30 minutes?
I don't know. This one was 38 minutes long. I'm going to share the link with myself again for that one and join it. That is psycho, man. Psycho. Now someone says no other recordings of our meetings are authorized.
Well, it sucks to be. Why isn't it authorized?
Right.
You know what I mean? No recordings of our meetings are authorized. Are authorized. Why not? Because you guys know you're training propagandists, and you don't want that information getting out. Because the minute we start learning their tactics, we can use it against them. Same style and everything. Here's Joe, the same style. And then Marlon, what you can do is you can take that information and conduct your own training.
Mm-hmm.
And
hang on
teach
one
them.
second. I'm going to join their meeting, but I want to make sure I don't have on my sound. Hold on.
Yeah.
This one might be crazier because this one actually has faces on it. I don't know if I can stream this one. All the weird. I'm going to take a screenshot of this room. I'm leaving. But when you guys see the picture I just grabbed, you're gonna understand why these people are recruited. Okay, you'll understand why they're recruited. Let me go to DuckDuckGo again here. Bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Screenshots. That's crazy, man. Let's see here. Okay, good. I got it. Crop, save. Perfect. All right, take a look at this. This is the few that's in the room right now for misinformation training.
Any
this is what they look like.
Any familiar faces?
I don't see any familiar faces, but they all look freaking weird. Look at this one. Look at this turtle.
Ooh.
They all look weird. They all have this weird demeanor about them.
Yep.
Well, folks, understand this. We have it recorded. Either way, we have it recorded. We'll see if they tell me you can't have that recording. And no different than me attending it and telling everybody about it either. So at least now we know they have a disinformation thing that they're doing. And they know exactly what they're doing, that they are doing this on purpose. Whew. Well, now we know. Now we know. That's crazy.
And, this didn't just start. This probably was going on during Biden. Of course it was.
Of course it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was going on during Biden's term, and they have a whole misinformation branch of their party to where they train these people to deflect the truth. And this is why, and we said it earlier, this is why they all sound exactly the same and talk the same when they do their content. You got them figured out. Make sure you send it to Elder Millennia. He'll get a kick out of that. He'll be like, oh.
Let me show you something. I'm downloading the ones I recorded. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you what he says in the beginning. I was 5 minutes late because I totally forgot they'd send me the notification. I was so tired. But then I remember, wait a minute, I got to be streaming this. And
I was tired. I was on the couch like this, and my phone went bing, and I looked.
That is crazy.
And I was confused when I first saw your message. You know how when you're waking up, you're looking at it like, what the hell is he talking about? Zoom call?
Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring this up. Get my downloads here. All right, here we go. Present. Okay, you can hear him in the background saying, okay, I'm going to share it. And I made sure to get the recording, but it was only being heard at the time. Okay, so you can hear him, what he's saying, and then I'll bring up his video. Listen carefully to what he's saying in the background, okay?
Now, you can make TikToks, you can create content. The biggest thing I'll say to you is that it's important to share your story and be yourself. You know, I think anyone can repeat, you know, talking points or say what someone else is doing, but how does this affect you? Why are you a Democrat? Why are you voting for Kamala Harris? Right? I mean, these are just some examples of things that happened under the Biden administration that were positive for people and that helped people. But, you know, you support Kamala Harris because she wants to bring back the child tax credit that Republicans just, by the way, rejected in the Senate. You can also post a reaction to recent news and how that impacts you.
Listen.
So, for example, Trump embracing Project 2025. He says that he doesn't know anyone that's related to it, but there he is on the plane with Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation. But TikTok users ultimately want to hear from you and people like you.
You hear?
I've been able to build my following.
Yep.
My TikTok handle in the chat later. It's just at Matthew.Rain, R-E-I-N. But I've been able to build my following on TikTok because people, I think, appreciate the authenticity. They appreciate that I'm providing them with news or related things that are happening in politics. And people want that. They want to hear from you, and not necessarily media talking heads. So here are just some of our challenges. There's a clip or a picture there of Kamala Harris doing her first TikTok ever for the @KamalaHarris account.
Oh my
that
God!
launched not too long ago. But as of in May 2024, New York Times did an analysis that there were 2 times as many pro-Trump videos as pro-Biden videos. Now, granted, this has certainly seen a shift and a change since Kamala Harris became our presumptive nominee, and even before that, when she announced that she was going to be running for the office of president of the president. But it's still the case that there are a lot of Trump supporters on this app, right? You know, there's a lot of they're low information voters with low engagement with our regular media cycle, and they're just scrolling through TikTok and they see news. There's also a lot of disinformation from right-wing actors. They spread some pretty horrific lies and propaganda. And TikTok isn't necessarily always the fastest at getting this information down.
You hear that?
Part of the work that I do is with our counter misinformation team at the DNC, and we have a great counter misinformation training tomorrow, and I hope to see some of you there. But really what we see on TikTok is a lot of right-wing actors who are purposely spreading disinformation about Kamala Harris, about Tim Walz now, about Democrats generally.
This is crazy.
He's talking about propaganda from the right while spreading propaganda and lies. What propaganda? Like, truthfully, I don't see a lot of propaganda on the right, because most of the right usually are truth seekers, right? We show you exactly, we don't spin it. We show you exactly what was said, what exactly was heard. And I can't say all because I don't follow all of them. But you don't see it like you do on the left. Like, he keeps talking about Project 2025 and he keeps saying it over and over again. And we said it yesterday on our episode, how they will use a word and repeat it over and over and over again, to where now whenever someone hears Project 2025, they tie it automatically to Trump, even though Trump has said he knows nothing about it, or he doesn't want nothing to do with it. That's not his thing.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you guys this one thing. I will see if I can screen record it. I don't know if they're able to pick up on Zoom if I'm screen recording or not. but I'm going to try to screen record. But the problem is because I have to enter there with my, unlike with the prior Zoom meeting, it looks like they want you to have your microphone and your camera on. And I don't want to take that chance to be seen because I'm noticeable.
Well,
and so is everyone on the Savage Patriots. If they see it once, you know, I don't know if I want to.
Could you have a green screen? Did they say it has to be your face, or could you have a green screen? Like
Well, would still pick up my face? You mean just a picture? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just a picture, because maybe they're like, hey, some people probably don't want to be seen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to play the role. Like, yeah, okay, go Kamala. All right, yeah, I can't wait. You know?
That's crazy. So what we're gonna do is gonna end the live, but if I can get it to stream, here's a problem. If they've already disclaimer not to record, it could be, depending on where they are, it may be one of those states where it's a consent to record kind of thing. You know what I mean? And if it's a two-party consent state, I'm in trouble. If it's a single-party consent state, I'll be okay.
You know where they're recording
they didn't have the disclaimer on this one though, because they just had it as an open forum, it felt like. So we'll see. I'll get a notification one way or another if they want me to take it down. But if they do ask me to take it down, then we know. But I already have it recorded, so they can't have me take it down perfectly because I still have the recording. I still have all the info, and I'm going to keep it and use it against them.
Well, what you can do is take screenshots, obviously, of everyone that's in there as propagandists that work for the Harris party. So now we have pictures. A lot of them will be TikTokers. And then once you start doing the facial recognition through Google Lens, you can start figuring out who these people are. And that's another way you can expose them, by saying these are all the people that were part of a Zoom meeting with this guy talking about how to create propaganda on TikTok. And now they're all out there as being trained to push it. You just tie it to a face. Then once you go to X and all these other things, now they're going to be like, okay, they figured this out. That's the thing. It's about exposing them, as Ash stated earlier. It's about exposing these people. And then once you can get them out there as being exposing them, and I'm sure some of these X creators are in these meetings too. A lot of them propagandists, Krazakians and J-Lo's and all the other ones, the big fat Brooklyn dad, all them guys, they're probably all in this meeting, guarantee it. So once you can start pinpointing them, saying, hey, these people don't just put this out, as we've stated before, they're all paid propagandists, they're all trained to say what they're saying. You know, now they look like they have pie on their face, because now we know that they're getting trained to do all this stuff in their little Zoom meetings.
Mm-hmm. And I can't, here's the thing, what they did, they linked your speaker with their, so I can't listen to what they're saying unless I have my microphone on.
And it's tied to
your mute button. So when you mute, you can't hear them, and they can't hear you, but you can't hear them either.
So if it's not a two-party consent state, say it's a one-party, or you could record being a one-party, right? One-party consent. Do you have to be in the same room, or could you
just if that states one-party consent, you can be anywhere in the States and record.
Now, could you watch it? So could you watch it from your phone? I'm trying to figure it out. Send the link. You know what I mean? Like trying to have it in one room to where your mic is on and it's just going, but you're in another room because it's linked and you're actually recording.
The only way I can do that is to bring it up here and leave it streaming without me on the screen, and have it on my phone watching it. But even then, I don't know, because it's like I said, it depends on the state.
Yeah. And they're probably not going to put that, you know, to get you like in a gotcha moment.
Yeah.
But don't they have to disclaim? They have to disclaim that. And what state is it in? That's the thing, which you probably don't know.
Yes.
Because obviously they're East Coast, because he did say 7 o'clock.
then I just go ahead, like, go to town on the feet, and then I get in the tub, and then I do the moisturizing, and it just feels so good. But you get
They're talking right now. I can hear them while I'm muted.
Feels so good. All of this has a weight to it. It has a luxury feel to it.
I can hear them.
These are the highest quality beauty tools in the business, which is why we are customer choice, nominee. Everything feels super high-end because it is.
Well, and you think about like the technology that it takes to take glass and laser into.
Can you hear it?
So
yeah, I can hear it.
Nano etching. So fine, so that when you rub it against your feet, it feels like you're just like smooth glass over your feet, gentle, and make it back down. Oh gosh! But you know what? God bless them. Have been sanding their feet since midnight. Okay.
It's only 7 of them.
Like, you got any foot left? Yeah. She's like, girl, I got to go. Foot ready for me, right? I'm relaxing about it, but I think that's a really good point. If you notice, we're not switching up 15 miles now today because they're rubbing their feet.
This is crazy.
That's not what this is about. We always say smooth, don't remove, right? We want you to have like enough on your feet so that you can actually like get the job done throughout the day. But if this were to blast through that skin so abrasively that it turns your skin raw, these gals aren't coming out here 6 and 7 times.
No. 47.
They have 5 minutes before the meeting starts.
Not running to become president since actual that. That is pretty as hell happens. Okay, supporters, 2 from here, facing those facts. True.
Starting to populate more. It's starting to populate more.
I'm gonna see if that guy's TikTok page has where he's from.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna check right now.
It's simple. It's clear. I couldn't tell you how many.
It's almost as though it's a TikTok live, but a bunch of old people in it.
She's been able to put that fact at the center of the political conversation in her rallies, and people clap.
Almost everybody in here is an old white woman. There's an old white woman here married to an old black dude, it looks like.
This is, I think, one of the smartest things that she's done. I mean, people sign all the vibes. She went right after Miles for his weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And she was on the off and said, if Donald Trump wanted to solve this problem, we would not have to move this bill. So that, I think, was one of the real signals that she's prepared to be, that she is prepared to be very, very nimble and aggressive on policy. But,
well, they haven't started yet, so as soon as they start, I want to get what they want to say. This is what I really want them to say at the beginning. I want the beginning of the meeting so people understand what the meeting's about. If I can get that clip, I don't need to stay for the rest of it, but I need to find out what they're going to say at the beginning of the meeting. So we're going to go for another 6 minutes, 8 minutes, and then see if they say it. That'll give us about 4 to 5 minutes into the show, and hopefully they'll get past pleasantries quick and get to the conversation.
Donald Trump is not our destiny. That Donald Trump may be a parenthesis found on one side by a man named Barack Obama, and on the other side by a woman named Kamala Harris. And in Donald Trump's mind, you realize that he may be, he may be reduced to a footnote in history, sort of a parenthesis in American history, as opposed to this massive change agent.
And it's always these grumpy looking black men that join too. This one guy looks like he looks like what's his name? Imperior. He looks a lot like Imperior. He looks just like
retarded.
Imperior. Yeah. I'm gonna show you. He looks just like Imperior. That's crazy. Let me do this here. Man looks just like Imperior, like he could be his daddy.
Hello.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, his TikTok doesn't say where he's from, but based off one of his pictures, it looks like he's from the East Coast or the Southeast, like Florida. But he is definitely East Coast.
Okay, look at one of them
I'm gonna
again.
ask everybody to mute so that there's no background noise.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Folks, but you can certainly.
Oh my God! Look at it now. He's just breathing up all the white man's air with them nostrils.
I'm Carolyn Barcliffe.
He's breathing up all the white.
Here she goes. I want to hear her. Let's see what she says.
Bandwidth. This morning in a meeting, it kept telling me I was offline when I was still on, but so hopefully that won't happen. Nice to see you all here. I have a document that I'm going to share with you. Let me pull it up here. And I'll give you the link to this document. Normally what happens with book club is...
You have to go upstairs. I can't deal with. Okay.
I'm not sure who that is. Okay. Normally what happens is I put things up for us to consider discussing. However, you know, this is kind of something that is supposed to be directed more by you than by me. Okay, the formatting doesn't want to change it. Anyway, this document is here. Let me post it in the chat. So if you want it on your screen, if you can't see it well on my screen, then you certainly can upload it. So my name is Carolyn Barcliffe. If you've not been to our book club before, I'm the founder and director for Fourth Branch Action. We are a national grassroots organization that engages in both advocacy and resistance as necessary. And we do this work no charge because it's that important. And so is learning along the way, learning more about our government and the way it operates and some of our history. And so that's how we ended up coming up to this book. There's been kind of a method to our madness where we've had a series of books in a row that one leads to the other. But this is our August book now. It's called Four Threats, The Recurring Crises of American Democracy. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment so I can see who is got themselves unmuted here. Okay. So if you have any background noise, really please make sure that
I want them to say it so bad. I need them to say what this is about.
Or that you have your microphone shut off. So I can't see you when I'm presenting. So anyway, having said that, if you have a question, the best way to go about, or a comment, the best way to go about it is to use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. That will allow me to know that somebody has their hand up and to take a look to see who that is, and then call on you. Mr. iPhone, if you wouldn't mind giving me your first name, I could change your name to your first name instead of iPhone, so I know who to call on if you raise your hand. So if look at your screen, and if it says iPhone, please tell me what your first name is. Or you can change it yourself by going to the participants list, clicking on the buttons next to your name, and adding your.
I want her to get to the point so badly.
But it's always helpful to know who I'm calling on.
Come on, man. She's a liberal.
Here we go. So I don't know how many of you, we often get folks that haven't read the book, and that's okay to listen in.
Propaganda book, by the way.
If you're interested.
I got that on screenshot too.
But so what I want to ask is, if you'll use the raise hand function,
I want to get it and see what it says. I actually.
Screen to.
Is it on ebook?
No, just a Google share, but you can't download it, so I screenshotted it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing a few hands going up. This is really a fascinating book to me, only because I'm a real history. I really like history. My grandfather, who was a World War I veteran, got me very interested in history.
How old is she?
My lifetime.
World War
So
I.
let me ask.
Yeah, she's old.
You can put your hands down now. Press the same button. What was, for those of you who have read part of it, what was your first reaction to it?
I want to hear this.
Stephen, you're laughing, so I feel like I need to call on you. I actually am able to pull up like 3 people here.
Okay. Yes, it's a good book, and yes, you know, we're clearly in trouble. But I would recommend how civil wars start.
Yeah.
And how to stop them. And I'll put that in the chat.
Okay.
Because, you know, on the one hand, recurring crises of American democracy for threats, you know, points out the rule of law, the legitimacy, page 13, the rule of law, the legitimacy of the opposition, and the integrity of rights provide us with clear indicators that we can use as standards to assess whether democracy is advancing or retreating in any given period of history. Well, in the last several years, but actually in the last 25 years, we've been retreating. So our democracy is being threatened, and really became threatened from 2016 to 2021, January 6th. So, you know, and it's strange to me that, you know, we fought a war, World War II, for democracy, and now we're losing our democracy.
Yeah, I think your reaction of our country's trouble is clearly accurate.
What do you say?
Anybody else want to say anything about how they found the book?
This is stupid, bro.
Oh my God.
Is this the book club thing?
The misinformation.
Again, I found it really fascinating. I found myself doing deep dives by going to the internet and looking up a bunch of different stuff. So in there, they describe the 4 threats. They describe times in our history when some of the 4 threats have been present. And you can see them there on the screen. The 1790s, when people were worried about Alien and Sedition Act. 1850s, divisions over slavery, which did tear us apart into a civil war. The 1890s, the industrial era and the upsurge in labor conflict and farmers' political organizing. African Americans being stripped of their voting rights.
What?
Then again, during the Great Depression, where folks were more willing to allow the president to have greater executive power than predecessors, but folks worried that it might create a situation for a strongman leader, something they were seeing going on in Europe. And then during the Watergate scandal of the 1970s, when Nixon did what he did, which was use the tools of executive power as political weapons to punish something
kind of like Biden.
Trump wants to repeat.
Oh, kind of like Donald Trump wants to do.
Yeah,
Stephen, is that your
Even though they're already doing it.
Yes, may I also recommend Ann Applebaum. She just came out with Autocracy Incorporated about Erdogan and Trump and Putin and a bunch of the dictators that are, you know, and Kim Jong-un.
They're seriously comparing him to all those.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the name of her new book again? I ordered it, but
Autocracy Incorporated and Applebaum.
I'm leaving this room real quick. I'm leaving the meeting. I have the book. That's what I really wanted to get, and I'm glad she gave it. So now we have the book. Let's take a look at this book. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
I'm surprised you were able to get in so quick from last night.
They sent me a text message. They wanted me in there.
It's because
I was happy to join.
Did you have to put your race? Did you have to put your black?
Didn't have to put nothing.
Dang.
Oh wow. They should probably have a better scrutiny of that, but all right.
Hey, I don't care that I'm glad they didn't, because now I got all the info I need, and I'm about to go make sure that everybody understands that the Democrats cannot win organically. They have to fabricate their followers. They have no choice but to fabricate their followers, people. They don't know how else to win. Mostly because they know that they can't win.
And you got a little taste of how uneducated and uninformed they are.
Man,
they
you
literally
just heard
believe
it.
all of
You
it.
just heard it right there. You know, World War II for democracy. What the hell are you talking about, dude?
All right, let's see here. This is the book. This is the book, y'all. This is a book. So it's in a little small PDF format. So let's open this up real quick.
Oh, you
this is what it's
downloaded
called. I downloaded this. I took a screenshot because I couldn't have a download, so I screenshot it. Now this was written recent. Okay, this was written recent. So here we go. Technically, it was actually more than likely written for this event itself. The 4 threats to reoccur in the reoccurring crisis of American democracy. You want to know why they keep saying the same points about democracy and American democracy and it's programmed into them.
Yeah, programming.
They have these meetings simply because they want to make sure you understand that this is how we have to speak. We need to make sure we put this out there into the public head that it's a democracy, democracy, democracy. It's at stake. Democracy, it's at stake. And then they go on and lie. In 1790, people's worry about political conflict over the Alien and Sedition Acts would plunge the nation into armed conflict and dissolve it through secession. What? What? In the 1950s, divisions over slavery did tear the country apart, leading to a destructive civil war in the next decade.
What year was that?
We're talking about
okay.
Yeah, and then 1790s is what they're talking about. Like just really close to when the country was just founded. It's not very long.
In 1890, amid the convulsive changes in the industrial era and the upsurge in labor conflicts, the farmers' political organizing, nearly 4 million African Americans were stripped of their voting rights. Untrue. That never even remotely happened. I don't even know how they get this kind of. Okay, maybe I'm just illiterate and I don't know history. Did that ever happen?
We'll look it
up. Did black people ever get their voting rights stripped of them after it was passed?
I've never heard that. That's new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that, Coy?
Yeah, no.
And then they go into the Great Depression in the 1930s. Many Americans welcome a president who was willing to use greater executive power than his predecessors, but somewhere they would pave the way for a strongman leader like those on the rise in several European countries.
You know why they're saying it so softly like that is because of who the president was.
Yes.
Who was a progressive Democrat that did that.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And who caused the Great Depression? Oh yeah, progressive.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things that led to the Great Depression, and that being one of them.
Yeah. We got to blame the president for everything, so it was his fault.
No, I would say it was the Dulles brothers that really led to World War II.
The military industrial complex.
This page. When they are absent, democracy tends to flourish. When one or more of them are present, democracy is prone to decay. In one of those events and time periods in democratic fragility in our history, we were all 4 threats present simultaneously. They are all present now. We face all 4 threats at the same time. This is how you fear monger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's also projection. So all the things that they're saying that they're wording against is the exact same thing that they've been doing. Yeah.
So where is it? Okay, yeah. So do you agree with the author's statement that we cannot assume that we are automatically democratic because of what our Constitution says, or that we've moved steadily and inexorably toward a greater democracy? We're never been a democracy. We weren't even remotely founded. The Constitution has nothing to do with democracy.
Nowhere in a document.
You want to, the best way to get people to understand why we're not a democracy is that if we were still a democracy, some people would still be slaves in certain places.
Man.
Because the majority of people back in that day were for it, were in favor of it. And guess what happens in democracies, especially in pure democracies? It's ruled by majority vote or majority thought.
Tyranny
and if the majority
of the majority.
Exactly. So if the majority thinks, hey, I think certain people are lesser than, then guess what? They're lesser than.
Yep. And you know, when they talk about democracy, right, they don't really want democracy. So, you know, they're all pro-abortion people. They all want to kill babies.
Yeah.
In a democracy, if the majority said abortion is done, we voted, the majority said it's done, they wouldn't be happy. So they don't want a democracy. They don't know what they're talking about. Same with guns. They want to take away guns. If the majority of Americans under a true democracy said, no, we want any gun we want at any moment, at any time.
Yeah.
And the majority voted on it, it's done. They don't want a democracy.
You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Here's number 8. They identified 4 key attributes shared by effectively functioning democratic systems: free and fair elections, rule of law. Tell me if you've heard these statements before: legitimacy of the opposition, integrity of rights. They all push the same talking points, and none of this is democratic. It's all Marxist.
Yep.
All those points are Marxist points.
Yeah.
It's a communism 101. Because who legitimizes the opposition? Who's in charge of legitimizing the opposition? The people that are asking for legitimate opposition. That's communism.
Yep.
And any opposition is legit. So how are you going to say legitimate opposition? So only if you agree it's good opposition, then it's opposition. You should.
Yeah, I get your argument with that, because that makes sense. Is like the opposition is the opposition. It doesn't need legitimacy. Like for you to say, hey, this is the only approved opposition type, is not true, free, and fair, is it?
This is wackadoo, man.
And the rule of law only works if you enforce it equally.
Thank you.
To everyone.
And they don't. So let's see here. Organization, political, take advantage of growing division, expand their power. That's exactly what they're doing. The Democrats are doing, taking advantage of the things going on to expand your power. Anyway, as division escalates, normal functioning of democracy can break down if partisans cease to be able to resolve political differences by finding middle ground through mutual accommodation and compromise. As polarization intensifies, people come to view society as and politics as divided between us and that, which is what exactly they've been doing. What is, man, anyway, this has occurred recently in Hungary.
Is strong.
They do this all the time.
Yeah.
Didn't Kamala come out today not like us?
No.
Isn't that us against them?
Yep. Or labeling somebody as far right and racist, homophobic, and all the other isms that they throw in there.
Man.
Or saying that Trump is a dictator.
A dictator.
Like, you don't think that's going to cause some issues?
Polarization wreaks havoc in the 1790s. Were you surprised to learn of the controversy surrounding the 1800 election? A law enacted in 1792, the Presidential Succession Act, mandated that if the office of the presidency lay vacant and no vice president stood by ready to step into position, then the Senate's president pro tem would become the new president. The Federalists cleverly observed that if they delayed making a decision until after Inauguration Day, this rule would take effect. Do they have a problem with that? I guess now they have a problem with that. The original Presidential Succession Act was actually passed in 1792, not 1790. Since then, there have been several significant changes. In 1886, the Presidential Succession Act was revised to remove President pro tem from the Senate and Speaker of the House from the line of succession.
My question is, why are they talking about this in particular?
25th Amendment, bro. 25th Amendment. That's why. In 1747, the act was revised again to reinstate the president pro tem of the Senate and Speaker of the House in the line of succession, placing them immediately after the vice president. In 2006, the most recent revision clarified the order of succession and addressed issues related to the continuity of the government. These changes have helped ensure a more orderly and clear process for presidential, I'm assuming, elections. Now, here's my question. The only reason you'll need to mention that to any of your propagandists is to make sure that when this happened with because they just printed this book, is that they can easily say, well, hey, whether or not Biden is efficient at doing his job, in the line of succession, the next best person for the job anyway is the VP. They're doing this in order to say that she can run the country without Biden.
That's legitimizing that. But my other question is, like, why are they focusing on the removal of both the president and the VP?
For when, if Trump gets in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to, is like, so if they play, like, say this happened in theoretical terms, because this is all theoretical according to them, is that they remove both the president and the vice president, and there's no clear line. I mean, obviously it's the Speaker of the House, and they're hoping they get the Speaker of the House, but if not, then it's a Senate pro tem, which happens to be controlled by Democrats.
There you go. There you go. There's that. Look,
because like, what happens if you remove the Speaker of the House and all the others? Like, who's next? Yeah,
they're prepping for all-out rebellion against the new regime if it comes into it. This is what they're pushing, which is why you see all the combative stuff on the left, which is why they all speak the exact same thing, because they all have the exact same plan, because they attend the same meetings to get the same talking points out. If you had to have a Discord, a Zoom, a online gathering to get your points straight and to make sure other people don't think outside of that box, you are a propagandist.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
And you're right, Marlon. They are planning for an all-out rebellion. Either way, if this election happens, either way it goes, there's going to be a rebellion, because the people on the right are going to claim, or it's probably going to be stolen, and they're going to be right about that. The people on the left aren't going to legitimize the election, which they've already said. And what they want to cause a civil war, because at the end of the day, as you stated, this is pushing communism. So if they can cause civil unrest in America, civil war, people are killing each other in the streets, they can come in, martial law, and they can push in their communism. So they can start martial law and never lift it and take away rights.
Well, here's the thing, is like, they talk about free and fair elections, but here's the thing, is like, unless you can question whether an election is legitimate or not, then you don't have a free and fair election. Like, they did it in 2016 when Donald Trump won and nobody cared. Right? It was only when Donald Trump questioned it that it became a problem. Or when Stacey Abrams questioned her election in Georgia.
Hillary.
That she said was stolen. Hillary, too. She still, to this day, doesn't think Donald Trump was a legitimate president. Where have we heard that before?
We can go as far back as Al Gore.
Yeah.
You know, we can go that far back. This question of an election has been going on for years, and you're allowed to question, as Coy said, you're allowed to question an election.
First Amendment.
You can. But they made it to where it's almost frowned upon, like it's almost illegal. We're gonna put you in front of the Supreme
conspiratorial.
Court. Yeah, you don't trust the government. You don't trust our election process, and they throw those words at you. You know, you don't trust Donald Trump. Doesn't trust our election process. It's anti-American. No, question it.
If somebody has a question about the election, it should be adjudicated with due process and not just thrown out because you say it lacks standing. It needs to be adjudicated completely to prove whether or not it was or was not. Because at the end of the day, once it's proven in court, it either was or was not. People go, okay, it was fine. It was fair. And then you're done with it. That's all you have to do. But now they've made it such an issue that even question the election, to question any election, is anti-American. It's anti-patriotic to question elections. It's like, no, because you should question elections always.
No,
because people are nefarious.
It's anti-democracy if the right questions. Make sure you get it right. Only if conservatives question. If everybody else can question it, that's fine. But if you question it, you're a traitor.
Yeah. Who was that guy that said that they were preparing to remove Donald Trump? That was one of the Congress dudes came out on Raskin. That's right. Foreskin came out and said that.
Ain't that something? Out loud. Look, all I'm saying is that I'm glad I was able to stream it. I got it downloaded in case they take it down, and I'll put it right back up on Rumble. And I'll put it up on Rumble anyway. So it's going up on Rumble. So it's going to be spread. If you guys have been watching it, record certain spots, put it up on your social media, blast this out. Let people understand that the Democrats are actually being paid There are shills being paid to push propaganda, and they're having meetings to know what to say to get the masses to buy in because they're using lies. This is not me. You saw it for yourself. They have certain talking points. They're pushing something that they know is not true, but they need to make it do that way because they have to target President Trump as the bad guy.
Yeah.
This is what you call, you know what this would be considered? Election interference.
Exactly.
But you know what anybody call that, but that's what it is.
And this is something you all could do. Marlon did it yesterday real fast. So if you guys really want to, hear what they're saying, do the same thing. Go in there, apply, get in there, and listen to what they're saying and take notes. That's how you counter this. You have to, spread this information so that everybody knows, so everybody understands their tactics. Once you understand their tactics don't work on you anymore because now you understand how they work.
Carolyn Barcliffe. Let's see who she actually is, shall we?
So one of the best ways to understand an argument is to be able to argue for the argument or the opposition's argument. So the only way to counter it properly is to understand your opponent's position. If you can argue your opponent's position better than they can, you can destroy them just as easy.
You got to be sneaky.
She's from my state.
So she's West Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, she probably lives in freaking that hellhole. What's that place where all the riots happen in Washington?
No, she's in Olympia. She's in Olympia.
Oh, same thing. That's another hell.
She's in Olympia. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. All right. Intercepting, recording, or divulging private communication consent requires exceptions. Except as otherwise provided in this chapter, it shall be unlawful for any individual, partnership, corporation in the state of Washington, political subdivisions, to record any private communication transmitted by telephone, telegraph, radio, or devices between two or more individuals between points within the state by a device, electronic or otherwise, designated to record and transmission without first obtaining consent from all the participants in the communication. So Washington State, my state, is a two-party consent state. Two-party.
It would be.
That's crazy.
Why are you looking at that?
Because at the beginning of their thing, they had a disclaimer: no recordings allowed.
Doesn't want to get in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, but that I don't think that applies because it's a political action. Because you got to think of it this way: it's like they're inviting people from all over the country, right, to do this thing. All those laws don't apply to every state, and plus, it's a political action taken from a campaign. You can't lock people out.
There you go.
Because just like a politician cannot block somebody from Twitter and access to them. It's kind of the same situation.
Well, either way, unless I'm leaving it up.
They make a private event.
Either way, I'm leaving it up. I don't give a damn about them. I'm leaving it up. It's political, so I'm leaving it up. I don't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will be going live on Too Strong tonight, people. We'll be talking about Charleston White. So make sure you join that conversation. It's in another hour. But make sure you share this video because this one was hilarious. Make sure you share. Okay. They are indeed propagandizing people. They are indeed paying people to push propaganda, and they have a Discord set up so you can go get your talking points and your propaganda and your method of putting out that propaganda, the ways to make it sell. All of that they are doing. It is a fabricated movement. Nothing about it is organic. And they're all trying to make sure they can manipulate people to the best of their ability, either by sound or by visual with lies.
Marlon, do you have the link to the Discord? Did you jot that down? There are probably some people on here that use Discord. I know Coy does.
Yeah, I do.
I screenshotted it. Hang on.
You should post those screenshots of the book thing and get it out there on X. Let people look at it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a sign up from the Kamala Harris campaign.
I'll post it on X.
Yeah.
Send me those screenshots.
It's a funny thing that this is coming from the Kamala Harris campaign and that they're created a book club to create propaganda to say that we're going towards a civil war, even though they keep telling us to stop saying that. Because that's what they were talking about in that meeting, or how that Trump's a dictator and they keep leading to the polarization of the United States because they keep pointing people in
pushing
directions of
propaganda.
extremism.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to drop the screenshot of the Discord so everyone can see it.
And send me
And
that.
you'll have to write it down, okay, people? When you see it, you have to write it down, because that's the only way I can have you see it, because I can't get the link. Is that clear enough, everybody?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it up there for about 2 minutes. Make sure you write it down. It's https://discord.com/124222492982210669213679162494149. Okay? Feel free to go ahead and join that Discord and get the information you need to see what they're pushing out and expose them. Expose them. Expose them.
Yes. Hey, Marlon, can you send me the screenshots of that book?
Yeah, I'm sending it all to the chat room right now.
Because I will post that. I will post that screenshot and everything else on X. I will post it on X because they can't do nothing because Elon ain't going to say nothing. And they can report it all they want. I'm going to make sure everybody knows. Get the word out. As Marlon stated, share it on your X. Try to stay away from TikTok. Posting it. Try. I mean, it's up to you. But, you know, all the other platforms, yeah, push it out there. But, you know, TikTok might give you the permaban if you post that. Because they gave me a strike yesterday for posting about my brand new account. They gave me a strike. All I said in the video was, now they're saying earthquakes are caused by climate change. And I got a strike. And I didn't even talk. You know how I don't talk on my videos, right?
Yeah.
And all I did was put a caption. Now they're saying earthquakes are caused by climate change. And they took it down for integrity. And I got a strike just for that.
Okay, a bit of a history lesson.
But they are saying that, but it's not. It's plate tectonics. Like what
I
is
know,
wrong with you?
but I had appealed and I was like, but it's true. They did say that. He
That's
did
so
say
stupid.
it. So
That's
you know,
crazy.
TikTok is on a rampage.
Well, I just posted it in the chat so you guys can grab it and run with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it.
But I'll be back tonight on Too Strong. Make sure you guys check us out. We're going to be talking about something fun. So until then, in the meantime, we'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Back here again tomorrow. For our topic. What is our topic tomorrow? Did we pick one?
I put that in the chat. I didn't even know.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. It might be this. Heaven, we don't know.
Yeah.
So this might be a good one to flesh out.
Well, there was a Trump Elon thing.
meeting. Yeah.
But we already did a whole live
so,
on it.
So we already streamed it. So.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a hodgepodge. Is that considered propaganda, or is this considered propaganda? It could be a mix. We'll have a discussion. We'll let you guys know. But look out for the show tomorrow. Either way, we'll be live. So we'll catch you guys then. See you on Too Strong in an hour. We'll catch you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. We out. Peace.
War.